Are we recording? Regular Joe here. I am joined by 1242. Say hello, Anthony.
Hello.
I wasn't sure whether to call you 1242 or Anthony for a second.
Oh, I never thought of that. No, I can live with Anthony. I suppose it is my name.
So we want to talk about this project called The First Stars I See Tonight. This is a request for illustrators, any kinds of visual artists, animators, etc. 1242 here is going to be our resident director of visuals on this piece. We just uploaded a rough cut of a green screen shoot. Two actors performed this true story by Roswellgray. They did it in front of a green screen, so we have to fill in all the other visuals. Anthony's gonna sort of lead the charge. So we've got a few things, actually a bunch of different things that we need you guys to draw and illustrate. First up is props.
The main thing that jumps to mind immediately is the night vision goggles that she's wearing. And although it would be easier if she'd worn goggles, that real life goggles are a bit too bulkier and not very visually aesthetically pleasing, so we want to sort of create a slightly more surreal type of night vision goggle that doesn't block the actress's face too much and maybe gives us a little bit more room to be creative with it.
Yeah, I agree, because the actress, Elle is her name, and she did such a great job, and it's sad that we're going to have to cover up her eyes, so hopefully we can cover up as little of her face as possible. You and I were speaking earlier about a sort of a pastiche collage style where we can be combining hand-drawn elements with more photorealistic elements, and all of the above can mix really well into this short film.
The actual overall aesthetic at the end, we can adapt and take, as initially it'll be that design, like what do they actually look like, but mostly it's just about getting something that works for the film as it is.
Cool, so props is one thing, and you can look on the collaborations request list for all the different props that we need. We also need stars. This is a really easy one. Just draw stars however you would draw them. You could do them really intricate and sophisticated, or you could even draw them really, really simply. And then, Anthony, we were talking about sort of a plan to take all these different star illustrations and combine them. How would you see that?
If the rest of the film is kind of, it's sort of going to be black and white and quite stark, to really, give the moment when she finally sees the stars for the first time, to give that real impact. And also, we were talking about, whether is it a real night sky or is it sort of this illustrated artistic interpretation. I think if we can sort of bring together all these resources and get all people's contributions of different stars, it could be such a sort of unique view in of itself. We haven't got to try and compete with the sort of, I was going to be a bit cheesy and say the majesty of the night sky, but we can give the sort of a hit record interpretation of what that is. And it can sort of be a little bit fun, a little bit quirky, and really sort of contrast with the sort of simplicity of the rest of the film.
And I think also, besides individual stars, drawing a whole bunch of stars, and you can make them into constellations, you can make them into whole galaxies. At one point we're talking about a shot where we pull back from the father and daughter all the way out to the whole Milky Way galaxy. So I'd love to see people illustrate that spiral of the Milky Way in stars. We also need the settings, and there's a shot list up on the site, and you can also, besides the shot list, you can watch the rough cut of the short film, and every shot is going to have a background. We've got a bunch of these that have come in already, and there's a bunch of really good ones, but the more that we have, the better.
And it's just about giving us that variety and being able to mix up everyone's contributions to get the best possible results. But if you can watch the green screen footage and kind of match the sort of angles that the shots are coming from, so if you are designing sprinklers or you are designing the background or a door, try and get it so it's the right angle, or more or less, we will be putting a bit of motion in there, but the more you can match up to those frames, the easier it will make it.
So there's also some shots in the beginning when the character's first in the optometrist's office, and we talked about doing kind of cutaways of realistic anatomical diagrams of eyes. So I don't know, any thoughts on that, Anthony?
The way I was picturing that is almost quite like an old school medical diagram, so maybe it's within the film context, it's seen within, we put it into a textbook, or even maybe it's a poster on the wall of the I'm not even going to say that word, but the optometrist office. Maybe, so I just, if anything, with that one particular thing, I'd like to, maybe it's something that people could find that's copyright free, or maybe someone is talented as a medical drawer. I don't know if that's a skill, but that would be really great to see some contributions like that.
Cool. Listen, man, I've been admiring your work on Hit Record for years now. It's a pleasure to actually speak to you on the phone and be working like this together.
No, cool, it's exciting. It's a bit of a challenge, and I'm really excited to see what we can actually pull off, but I'm sure with all the contributions and everything, it'll probably be, it'll end up a great little film, I'm sure.
I think so too. All right, you guys, let's see what you do with it. Thanks again.